Now, all eyes are on the Italian capital as the world leaders have gathered in Rome to attend the G20 Summit. Rome, synonymous with romance, has briefly become the hub of diplomacy as leaders of the world's biggest economies held a flurry of bilateral meetings on the sidelines of the mega summit. So let's start with what the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson was up to. He held a meeting with the Italian Prime Minister Mario Draghi, and also, according to the Downing Street, Johnson has encouraged Mario Draghi to go further in his climate finance commitments to help the developing nations adopt cleaner technologies. Boris Johnson also had a sit-down with his Canadian counterpart Justin Trudeau. In accordance with the theme, the bilateral discussions focused on fighting climate change.
I know. The Italians have gone with the usual opulence. They put the vote out there, you know. It's fantastic. Good, okay. Thank you.
Now, the G20 Summit is one of the few events since the pandemic where world leaders have in fact gathered in person to discuss and strategize on global issues. In another round of talks, Boris Johnson also held a meeting with the European Union chief, Ursula von der Leyen. And French President Emmanuel Macron met with his South Korean counterpart Moon Jae-in on the sidelines of the G20 Summit. And Emmanuel Macron also met with the Argentinian President Alberto Fernandez, where the two leaders discussed the issue of climate change. And Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison is also in attendance at the high-stakes summit. In the meeting, ahead of the opening ceremony, he met with the Indonesian President Joko Widodo. In fact, the Indonesian leader also proposed a plan to establish a vaccinated travel lane between the two nations. The two leaders also discussed cooperation in green economy development and also for energy transition. And Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez is also attending the G20 summit, where he met with several heads of the states. A video that was released by the Spanish government shows Sanchez speaking with the American President Joe Biden. And Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau are also present at this meeting. Hectic rounds of parleys are underway in the Italian capital, with the health crisis and the economic recovery post the pandemic being on top of the agenda. The most vital and the difficult debate, of course, focuses on how the leaders will go on cutting down greenhouse gases and how far will the rich nations go in helping the poorer nations confront global warming by adopting greener, cleaner but more expensive technologies. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.